The Diggers got eliminated from playoff competition the other night as they lost yet again to the Montana Western Bulldogs. So they come into tonight's game 13-14 overall, 5-10 in conference play. Westminster, they're 17-11, 10-5 in conference play. They had their 4-game winning streak stopped the other night at LC State. They lost by 4.
And last time Westminster came to Butte, they got beat. 75-68 last season. They were ranked number 7 in the nation. They're ranked number 21 right now, so see if we can get a little bit of deja vu.
Griffins in purple and the Diggers are in white. Do you serve deja vu broiled or fried?
I do it with a little bit of a base, you know. It actually usually just goes in the microwave.
Too easy for one of the best players in the conference. That's Talon Robertson, the 6'6" senior transfer from Western Wyoming. Leads the team in scoring, top 5 in the conference at about 17.5 a game. It'll be interesting to see how long this lineup stays on the court because already it's gotten pretty ugly. The real story tonight for the Diggers is, yeah, you want to get to 500, but you want that man with the ball to score 1,000 points in his career. He needs 18 tonight to do it.
Yeah, Brian Bach has done everything for Montana Tech in his 4 years. On that defensive possession, good job by Roman Pruneda-Garza getting his hands in the passing lane.
Another turnover. Robertson gets it off of Peavy. Going for another easy bucket, and Robertson, the senior, has got 4. It's been a tough stretch for the Diggers. What was a promising year really turned sour here in February. They've lost 6 out of their last 7. And the one win was by 1 point against a very poor Carroll team. Burkle no good. Skidmore with the rebound. Skidmore's been around a long time. Great athlete who's had a very long college career. I mentioned it last year, but I coached against that kid in Idaho what seemed like 6 or 7 years ago. He went on a 2-year LDS mission. He's been to a couple schools, has really found a home here at Westminster, and has had a great year. He's a very good free throw shooter as well at just over 81%. It's been all the Griffins to start this, 5-0 on the Best Western scoreboard. We're about 1:40 into the contest, and you still have all the seniors and Trent Thompson on the floor for Coach O'Haron in his first year as head coach for the Diggers. The Diggers have more turnovers so far than they have made baskets. Bach with it. Good head fake. They give it right back to him. Tough off-balance shot, no good. And that is Jensen with the rebound. You're going to see teams from Salt Lake, Sean, that'll have a couple guys on there with receding hairlines. A lot of times you've got guys that have been on a mission and they're in their mid-20s still playing college ball. But we're not going to say any more about receding hairlines. Pruneda-Garza with the first basket of the night for the Diggers. That stops the 8-0 run. Skidmore, pull up from 15, yes.
And that's a good-looking shot off the glass. You know that's a shooter shot. You know, anytime you can kiss it off the plexiglass, that's going to...
Yeah, he was a track star in high school as well. He's a very quick athlete. And there's a lot on the line actually tonight for Westminster because with a win, they still have a chance, I think, at this point, of getting that second seed. They need some help. They need a northern loss. And they have actually already played that game last night. When did you do your stats? Oh, they did. So they've already, I think Westminster with a win is automatically third. I don't think they can catch the northern. Beatty with a bucket. It's 10-4. Either way, for Coach Hyatt in his third year at Westminster, they don't want to go into the playoffs losing 2 straight on the road. Skidmore with a floater, and he's 2 for 2.
They got Antonio Snow in the ballgame now for Montana Tech. He's true point guard for the Diggers, good scorer. But this is a Tech team that only shot 30% and made 1 3-pointer against the Griffins down in Salt Lake.
Thompson showing some nice range. 12-6 the score. Yeah, that one was a bit of a debacle. 83-49. That was back in early January. They'd like to forget that one.
And that was just one of those games where Tech came out shooting flat.
Out of bounds off of Snow.
Tech came out shooting flat, didn't really, never got in a rhythm on offense, and then at halftime you're down by 30-some points. Guys started hanging their heads, playing a little bit of one-on-one basketball, and it didn't translate well.
Snow had 17 points, 5 rebounds the other night in the loss. As Robertson is just on fire. Now, every one of his shots has been from about 4 feet in. That was the furthest out he's taken a shot tonight, but he's got 8 points. Snow feels like he can take his man one-on-one. Pretty good defense by Egan. A little curious that Egan got the start tonight. This is his first start of the year. Robertson right by Thompson and is fouled. Now, this is the one area of Robertson's game who's not very good. He only shoots 63% from the free throw line.
And coach is going to go straight to the bench.
Well, he's going to get Marcus Payne in the ball game, the freshman from Livingston. He's been a revelation this year for Coach O'Haron. Big body, smart player as well for a freshman.
Coming in, being scouted, Coach O'Haron said he was the best rebounder in the state, and there's been a couple of times where he's definitely proved that here in the Frontier Conference.
Westminster is 6 for 7 from the floor to start this game. Well, I've told you some of the stories, Sean, about growing up in New Jersey. If you ever want to see a guy who looks like he belongs in northern New Jersey, you just look at Coach O'Hara tonight. He's got the shirt, with the collar undone, no tie, the dark hair, the swagger. Nice move by Pruneda-Garza. He'd fit right in an Italian restaurant. Maitre d', how about it? No?
I think he fits in fine here in Butte.
He fits in here as well. He's done a great job, first-year head coach. Been here a couple years. Was the assistant to Velichko. Robertson, one dribble pull-up, yes. Robertson now 5 for 5.
Good help defense out of Payne, but he just didn't close out on the shooter quick enough. Maybe a little more defensive rotation, have somebody come off their man.
Pretty backdoor and one. Brian Bach with his first bucket of the night. And his foul will go to the line to shoot one. He now needs 16 more points for 1,000.
Great find by the Diggers. That's a good back cut. He set up his defensive player. Gave a little bit of a jab step, then went to the basket. Finished well, too. There was a lot of contact there.
So you got Quincy Bear, who will take a seat for Coach Hyatt, the Utah State transfer. Grizzlies have a player from Utah State as well that transferred from Coach Morrell's squad. Coach Hyatt, also in his third year, just like Shelley Gerard for the women's team for Westminster. He was a star at Westminster for Coach Tommy Connor. Connor now the assistant at Utah. This is Jensen, and Jensen loses it, but it'll be off the Diggers.
Good defense by Peavy. Interesting note, you don't see it called very often, but the bench for Westminster was trying to distract the free throw shooter. Disconcertion, 9-3-1 in your rule book. You're not allowed to purposely distract the free throw shooter while they're shooting. It's something you don't see called, but it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, knock it off. He gets free throws. He doesn't get, a little bit contested throws.
The last thing we want is disconcertion when watching a basketball game.
We've used a couple big words tonight.
Peavy for 3. Little long, Skidmore with the rebound. Robertson continues to be perfect. He's 5 for 5. Pull up, yes. Pretty looking move from Jordan Pryor. 6'2 sophomore from West Jordan, Utah. Had 16 the other night. He's their third leading scorer.
Westminster now shooting 90% to start this ball game.
22-11 the score on the Best Western scoreboard. Coach Hyatt wanted to travel. They're going to call a foul beforehand.
Yeah, and that foul is not on the person who was in there trying to take the charge. That foul is going to be called on Adam Egan, because it was Egan who pushed him, got him off his toes a little bit, knocked him off balance. It's the equivalent of a hand check.
Pruneda-Garza 2 for 2 with 4 points. He'll take a seat. And Adam Greger checks in, the leading scorer for the Diggers this year, as last year. And Peavy with a nice strong drive to the hoop. Well, if you're a senior on senior night, there is no tomorrow. So if you want to go to the bucket and take a couple shots, have at it. Pretty good defense by Greger as he challenged the shot, but they're going to call the foul. Pryor will go to the line.
Brandon Rydberg set to check in for Montana Tech.
Coaches always have the carrot and the stick, right? Well, tonight for Coach O'Haron and his seniors, the stick is pretty much gone, because after tonight, there are no sprints in practice. There is no sitting over the next game. This is it. Boy, Westminster is almost shooting flawlessly. They're perfect from the free throw line at 9 for 10 from the floor. 24-13 score. Bach now with it. Don't want to pick up your dribble there. Peavy bails him out. Peavy for 3. Tough shot. 0 for 2 from behind the arc. That one not really his style of shot. He's more spot up off the pass.
Yeah, he's more of a catch-and-shoot player, and you don't see him create his own shot very often.
Pretty move by Egan. A little behind-the-back pass. Looked pretty, didn't accomplish much. Nice pitch ahead to Bach, and that one in and out. Greger with the rebound. Second chance, no good. And Bach can't get it either. Good second, third effort by the Diggers. Comes up short.
And Montana Tech did a good job. They had a couple people run the break, but their fourth and fifth players didn't get across half court. If there's going to be second chance opportunities, you'd like to be able to get it and kick it out for a 3. Nobody continued to run.
Peavy knocked it out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Griffins. Griffins are going to be moving up to the Division II level here pretty soon. Not next year, but I think the year after.
Yeah, the year
Got
after.
invited to the RMAC. I think they may be the only team that's going to be outside the state of Colorado in that conference, I wonder. Or they have some Wyoming teams.
No, there's some teams in the RMAC that are, I believe,
Wyoming?
South Dakota School of Mines. I believe the Hard Rockers are in that conference. It's a tremendous travel conference. But not as bad as the GNAC.
They're the conference that gave the invitation to Carroll. They have not accepted it yet.
And I wouldn't accept it.
You got to go to Alaska twice? Wow.
Yeah, your nearest game is in Seattle. I don't think.
Well, your nearest game will be Billings.
Well, Billings, but
that's about it.
Next game after that, you're going to Seattle.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to travel to Butte.
It's an interesting discussion for Carroll. They've got an interesting decision to make. Tough one.
Well, and then you fall into the problem that Dickinson State they fell into was travel gets more and more costly as time goes on. So that's one of the reasons Dickinson State is leaving the Frontier. You don't realize how much gas it burns to get from Dickinson to Salt Lake or Butte or Dillon.
11:48 left in the first half. It's been dominated by Westminster, 26-13. We're going to keep our eye on Brian Bach as he tries to get to 1,000 for his career. Rydberg. Bach posting up, little spin move. Robertson with the good help. Greger for 3. Feet weren't set. Peavy with the rebound. Oh, nice dish to Payne. Oh, and the freshman blows the dunk. But Robertson hit him on the head. That's one of those where you pray that the official calls the foul. because it looked like the rim just blocked his shot.
Oh, yeah, and, Marcus isn't the most vertically strong people, but, he's a big body, and good thing they got the call. You would have liked to see him, maybe try to just lay it in,
Marcus has his issues at the free throw line. He's shooting 67%, as Egan and Skidmore will take a seat. We may get it over the air, Hugh. We've been hearing from some people that we're not. Hopefully we are. Hopefully you're hearing us and seeing us. Peter Young along with Sean Ryan. The women lost to the Lady Griffins earlier tonight. They played a great first half but got blown out in the second. Westminster, one of the best teams in the nation. The men here off with Robertson. Boy, he just continues to impress. Now 7 or 8. He's got 16 points. We've only played 10.
He runs the floor well for a big person, and he takes good steps, strides well. That's very tough when you're a post player and you're quick like that.
Well, they give him the ball too, where he can do something with it. Good defense on Bach. He's got the one basket tonight.
Shot clock's down to 10.
That's pretty good defense. Gregor with it. Oh, and Gregor with the strong take.
Yeah, and it was blocked, but he still finished. I mean, he was going to go up for the two-hand dunk. I think it might have been an NBA dunk. I thought he got away with a step, but if they don't call it, it didn't happen.
First bucket of the night for Gregor.
That's the way you like to see Adam Gregor play. So maybe going into next season, maybe he can be aggressive like that.
Shot clock at 5. Good defense by Rydberg, but an even better shot by Casey Evans, the 6'4" freshman. And the good defense by Evans as he ties up Brian Bach.
And that's another pet peeve of mine is when a player has the basketball and then he gets, pummeled. This isn't football. You can't strip it away. I mean, I don't know if that's a jump ball in that situation where somebody had it and then all of a sudden,
30-16 media timeout. Let's take a look at the standings coming into tonight's contest in the Frontier Conference. It's been a really great year for Rocky Mount, 12-3 in conference, 21-6 overall. Then there's at 11-5. Westminster with a win again. They're going to be the third seed. You'd love to be the first seeds. They're still going to host a home game, though. Western at 9-6. They were here the other night. Then it's LC, Great Falls, and Tech at 5-10 in conference play. Carroll improved this year. They got 4 conference wins and 9 overall.
Beat UGF last night.
Yeah, first year for head coach Dr. Carson Cunningham. So it's nice to see that program rebound after what was a disastrous year. Hey, take a look, Hugh, at some of the conference leaders. Adam Gregor has been very efficient this year. You see him top 5 in field goal percentage, just over 50%. Robertson at 56%. He's going to improve upon that number tonight if he keeps this up.
As we come out of the media timeout, it's 30-16. The Orediggers are down by 14 at the moment with 9:35 left to play in this first half. On the floor is Pruneda-Garza, Rydberg, Gregor, Keegan McCarthy, and Brian Bach. McCarthy, great job with the follow.
Well, you'd love to see McCarthy start to gain some weight over these next few years and put some size on that frame because he really hustles inside the paint.
Oh, 10 seconds. You would have very close to 10 seconds as he struggled to bring it across the line. It was at 25.
Was that disconcerting to you?
No, frustrating.
Boy, Robertson's putting on a clinic.
Yeah, he is. He's doing a great job. Just finishing around the rim, shooting well. Pruneda-Garza will have it. They'll hand it to Bach along the top. They'll hedge the screen. He'll step through, give it to Pruneda-Garza. He'll drive in, put up the shot. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
He's got his relatives here tonight. They're all wearing Team Roman T-shirts that they made up for the game. You know, he really carved a little niche for himself last year under Coach Velichko. You know, he's never been a good shooter, but he would come in the game and instantly elevate the energy, especially on the defensive end. And he gets the friendly roll on that free throw.
I'm not sure it even rolled. Just hit the back of the iron, kind of plopped in.
But, you know, this year he's getting right around 13 minutes a night.
And a lot of his minutes come in, and he plays well on the defensive end. You know, really shuts down the best scorer or the best guard for an opposing team. You know, just coming in relief. So it's 20-32 on your Best Western scoreboard. Pruneda-Garza applying the pressure. He gets the pick. He's going to go up strong. He's fouled, but they don't call it. Keegan McCarthy with the putback. Great defense by Pruneda-Garza, kind of carving the Diggers back into this. 22-32. You can tell Adam Egan doesn't like the defense Pruneda-Garza is playing. Good active hands out of Brian Bach. It'll stay Westminster basketball. They're going to call a timeout, but I think Coach Hyatt has to be a little careful. He got a little far out of the coach's box as we take the timeout. It's 32-22 with 8:14 left to play in this first half.
You look ahead to next year for Coach O'Haron's team. You wonder who is going to replace all the production of Brian Bach, because he leads the team in rebounding. Let's take a look at assists, Hugh, in the conference. He leads the team in assists, too. And that's the women, actually, Hugh. You got the men's top 5 at assists, because Brian, I believe, I think he's second in the conference.
And he was first for a long time this season.
I think they said he was 15th in the nation when they were doing senior night.
Yeah, I mean, he just does a great job for Montana Tech. He's put together some really impressive numbers in his career, and
leads him in steals and blocks this year, too.
Steals and blocks and rebounds. I mean, he just does everything. Pruneda-Garza playing defense. Driving in, Egan, he'll put up the shot, and they're going to call a hand check on Pruneda-Garza.
Well, I think to answer my question, if I could, since I asked it, and I'm going to, Antonio Snow's the guy. Now he's getting ready to check in. And Antonio can score. We've seen that. He exploded a couple times in January. But he is a natural point guard. So he's the kind of guy that can really, put up some nice numbers next year for Coach O'Haron. And he's going to have to.
Yeah, he's going to have to step up, especially with Brian Bach, going away, as a senior. I believe Brian has plans to go and play in Europe with his brother.
Yeah, who plays at Pacific, right?
Yeah, brother's a star point guard at Pacific.
Well, and again, Gregor and Snow are both going to be seniors next year. Oh, boy,
Robertson finishes. There's a lot of contact underneath, and Westminster was able to grab the rebounds. But
he's 9 for 10.
Yeah, 13-point lead at the moment.
Anyway, Coach O'Haron's got that strong pro background, so he runs a lot of screen and roll like this. So you should see a lot of that next year with Snow and Gregor. They're going to be your 2 leading scorers.
Gregor shot off the mark. Westminster will have it, and they're going to look to run. They'll kick it out. Egan, now in the hands of Pryor. Finally a miss out of Westminster. A lot of hands in there, but Robertson finally didn't get one to go. Snow, he'll drive in, try the bunny. That's not going to go. But it's a 22-35 score at the moment. We haven't scored in the last 2 possessions.
Well, they've got to get this lead under 10 at the half. Wow.
Robertson up and under. They just set a good double pick. He kind of got lost in the crowd.
Well, I was going to say, that's too easy. I mean, yeah, he's having a good game, but you could have made that layup.
Yeah,
you might have dropped the pass.
You can't make it that easy on him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just...
Rydberg, he'll try the 3 ball. That's not going to go. Diggers just can't find the bottom of the rim at the moment. It's...
Well, Coach O'Haron's hot, and I don't blame him. He's going to call timeout. And that is inexcusable. on senior night, your last game of the year with a good crowd here at home. You can't let their 6'6" Nick Jensen beat you down court. Come on.
Yeah, 6'6", 220 pounds. Somebody's got to be faster than him. A little frustrating at the moment for the Diggers. You know, you can take a look at Westminster's huddle. They're feeling fine.
I don't know about that. Again, feeling fine. I mean, that is a long bus ride. That's got to be one of the more miserable bus rides from Lewiston up here. Because then they'll probably start driving home tonight, I would think, down to Salt Lake City.
I would assume they'd probably drive back tonight, get back sometime tomorrow.
Oh, boy. Well, I have been impressed with Coach O'Haron this year. I really wondered how he would handle it because I really thought Coach Aaron Velichko was a star in the making. And he left coaching for the business world. Being a head coach in college is a tough life. I mean, it can be glamorous, but boy, it's dedication. It takes a lot of effort. Coach O'Haron, I love his demeanor. You know, he's confident. He clearly has the ear of the team. I mean, they listen.
They'll break from timeout. It's 39-22 on your Best Western scoreboard. 6:16 left to go in this first half.
In between the games, I had a discussion with the two former athletic directors here at Tech, Coach Green and then Joe McClafferty. Those guys have done a nice job with their hires, O'Haron and Chuck, the football coach. It's too bad Lindsay is going to put her coaching career on hold. She's an impressive young lady.
Lane Simon in the ballgame for Montana Tech. A little bit of a tough pass. They'll find Peavy cutting under. Great pass from Rydberg to Peavy.
Travis Peavy's making the most of his senior night. He's got 6, playing well.
That's a good back cut. He just realized his defender is watching the ball. Cut underneath the basket. Westminster.
Ooh, wow. Blake helping out with the call.
Brandon Rydberg not happy with that. And, you know, I can't disagree. There's been a lot more contact on a whole lot of other possessions that haven't resulted in fouls.
Have you ever agreed all year with a foul call on Montana Tech?
Yeah.
You have? Really?
I wear the stripes as well.
Justice, that's what I used to say when I was playing.
And you've got to be careful with this official, the one closest to us. He's not afraid to throw out the tee. He was the one who teed up Bearlocker and Ferris for LC State and then teed up Ferris again in that game where the Diggers upset LC State. Trigger happy.
The Jesse James of officials.
Yeah, well, Simon, he's going to get more minutes for Montana Tech as Gregor puts it up, but it's blocked. Quincy Bear with the tip. Easy run-out layup for Blake Skidmore.
I think Blake's shown his age on that one. I can't believe he didn't put that one down. I think his teammates are going to give him a hard time about that on the bus ride home.
Only 6 foot, though, is Skidmore as the Diggers are looking for some offense. Rydberg, he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Good aggressive play. That's a good play, you know. Find Rydberg cutting into the middle. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Well, Westminster misses Alex Drexel. You remember him from last year? Really good defensive player, great-looking athlete. I always thought he could have scored more points, but on the defensive end, the guy was locked down. And they missed that this year. You know, they got 11 losses on the season. Defensively, they're not as good as they were last year. But boy, Robertson has stepped up. This Frontier Conference playoff is going to be pretty interesting. And I would love to have seen Tech make it. But I think it's a good thing to have Marcel Towns and Great Falls in the playoffs. I mean, Marcel Towns is a special player. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely explosive. As with 4:50, Westminster will run their offense. Driving in, kicking it out is Pryor. Ball in the hands of Adam Egan.
Well, we have not seen Colton Moon tonight. He must be hurt for Westminster.
Good defense by Lane Simon, getting his hands in the passing lanes. He'll bring it across the timeline. standout at Whitehall. He'll put it up, and he scores.
Hey, there is no tomorrow.
There is for him.
Now there's next year for him.
But just a good aggressive take out of Lane Simon, averages 0.4 points per game. I believe his first points this year were against in the Carroll tournament. He hit 2 free throws against Corbin University. I remembered they call an illegal pick on Quincy Bear.
Some guys remember memorable games, memorable shots, Kirk Gibson's home run in the 88 World Series. You remember memorable calls from referees.
They're all memorable.
Oh, my goodness.
Snow with it. He'll give it to Simon in the corner. Spin move, puts it up off the glass. It's not going to go. He wanted a call and didn't get it. Bringing across timeline will be Adam Egan. 28 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 3:35 left to go in the game. Excuse me, in the first half. Egan, slow dribble around the outside. He'll hand it off to Pryor. That one's going to go. A good little jumper out of Pryor. Out of West Jordan, Utah. Went to West Jordan High School. He's a sophomore, pretty talented.
Yeah, he's got 8. He's pretty explosive. Oh.
That's just kind of a ticky-tack foul. You got to call it. Nick Jensen.
Well, what do you expect when 2 guys with beards are going at it, right? Somebody's going to hit the deck.
Is that a beard?
I don't think he's got a beard.
Brett's
got a beard.
That's a beard out of Jensen. I think he needs to take some lessons from.
Look at that. That's a beard. That is a beard. Look at that.
Marcus Perry checks back in for Westminster.
That's not a New Jersey beard. That's a Montana beard.
Thompson will go to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. It rattles out. Too bad. As Westminster will bring it across the timeline. Diggers down by 17. Pryor. Thompson will clean up the rebound. Snow, he'll drive in. Tried a little bit too fancy of a pass. Travis Beebe gets his hand in there, and Lane Simon is fouled. Probably a smart foul out of Blake Skidmore.
Well, this game right now, if you can't already tell, is getting pretty sloppy. And so you kind of have to wonder, well, what's everybody playing for? I mean, yeah, you're always out there, you're playing for pride, you got a lot of people watching. But, even Westminster looks like they left part of their game on the bus. It's a little, it's sloppy, kind of lackluster, too.
Yeah, not as crisp as it needs to be. Simon at the free throw line. Misses the first. Now 2 of 3 on the year.
Well, I like how Coach O'Haron's getting Pruneda-Garza in the game more tonight. He's been getting more minutes so far this first half than he's been getting over the last couple weeks.
Also puts Reed Bearlocker into the ball game. Really saw Reed's minutes drop from last year.
Oh, boy, you said it. He and Pruneda-Garza.
That one's good for Simon.
But, with Antonio Snow coming in, I mean, where's Reed play? Where does he get his minutes?
You throw another guard in the mix. It's just, smaller time for everybody. Robertson does a good job of setting a pick. Now he's got it on the inside.
Oh, wow.
Good back cut. Out of Westminster.
That was a beautiful pass to Casey Evans, but again, that was bad defense by Simon.
Yeah, Diggers down by 18 at the moment. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in this first half. Bach up on top.
They've done a great job on him tonight.
Yeah, Brian's got to look to score. Picks it up. Simon, 16-footer. Not going to go.
Wins 17 feet.
Across the timeline is Adam Egan, defended by Bearlocker.
Oh, another nice look.
Good hedge, but it's going to be Tech basketball as Robertson couldn't control it.
Yeah, that was a nice look from Egan. But, you've got a big target in Robertson. You got to make a better pass.
And you got to see Brian Bach score some more points.
That'd be nice.
He's only got 3 so far in the ball game.
Yeah, they're already down 18, so second half you might as well play to get him his 1,000.
Pruneda-Garza for 3. That's not going to go, and the Diggers are just not taking shots they're used to taking. Robertson working against Bearlocker. Good defense, and they're going to call a foul on Thompson.
Robertson went to the left hand. He is really playing well. You know, in some of their losses this year, he's been shut down. I'm trying to remember which game it was a couple weeks ago where they lost and he was in single digits. Well, not tonight. He's got 24.
Yeah, you can't make a guy an All-American with just terrible defense.
You could tell he's not confident in his free throw.
No, anytime you step in after it, you're, you know.
He kind of pulls it back a little bit. He's 3 for 3 tonight, though.
Pruneda-Garza drives in, feeds
Nice
it to
pass.
Bach. Bach doesn't get it to go. A little bit of contact there.
Well, he still needs 15 more points.
Egan with it. He'll dribble in, drive it off to Robertson. That one's not going to go. Comes down to Bach. Bach, he doesn't have numbers. And loses it. 47 seconds left in this first half. The Diggers are down by a bunch. And if you didn't know, a bunch is 21.
Yeah, that's a bunch. That qualifies for a bunch in basketball. Now, in an all-star game at the NBA, you know, that's like 2 possessions.
Yeah, that's a few.
That's like 30 seconds. Well,
foul on Lane Simon. He gets called for the reach.
I wonder if the Westminster players weren't aware that Brian was so close to 1,000 points and kind of thought, you know what, let's win this and shut him down. Because they have really done a great job on Bach this first half.
Yeah, they have. They've done a good job. You know, they switched Quincy Bear and Jordan Pryor on him. You know, just kind of denying him the basketball, not playing a whole lot of help defense. Tech's going to have to look to go some pick and rolls, things like that to get him open. Free throw no good. Travis Peavy will be shooting as there's a rebounding foul on Casey Evans. He went over the back, and there was no doubt about it.
Well, you know, if Westminster has an Achilles heel, it's clearly free throw shooting. As a team, they shoot 65.8%. So, you know, I remember last year I got to call a couple of their games. They were a better shooting team. They missed Jordan Hayter. He's now an assistant coach for the Griffins. He was a senior last year, good shooter. They missed Drexel.
Peavy makes the first of the free throw line. He's now got 7. Chance to make it 8.
And you think, too, next year, you know, year to year, what will Adam Greger do to elevate his game from his junior to senior year?
I think Greger's got to focus less on shooting and more on driving, you know, going right at the rim. 18 seconds left to go in this half. Diggers down by 19. It's 49-30 on the Best Western scoreboard. Egan will have it. He's defended by Bearlocker. Robertson, good defense by Peavy. He'll have the layup, and that will about do it for the first half, as a half-court heave is no good. That might be what Montana Tech needed. Great defense by Travis Peavy. As they are going to go into the half, down 49-32. Westminster shooting a blazing 79% from the oh my God.
Yeah, that's a combination of shooting really well, taking good shots, and Matador defense.
That's a really impressive number, you know, and it'll go down because that half-court heave was no good. But 76, you know, almost 77% in the first half. If Westminster has school records, they might have broken one, because that's, you know, just shooting that well is going to be the reason Tech is up 49-32. Excuse me, Tech's down 49-32 as we're going to take a break. 15 minutes on the halftime. We'll be back with second half action of more Digger basketball.
Peter Young, one of your failed attempts to make me feel old tonight? You said you were going to do that.
It was attempt number 1. Kind of forgot about it. But
yeah, it took, whole first half of basketball. Oh, look at this. Trapping defense.
Digger's going to come out in that. Come out in a trap. That was a travel. Whew. Good call by the official. Good sportsmanship by Brendan Bridebird. Picking up. Was it Skidmore? Bach has the basketball. He'll bring it across the timeline. Digger's got to be reinvigorated in this the second half. Or it might just be vigorated as they came out a little bit flat to start the ball game. Trying to find Brian Bach. Get it inside. Goes to Rydberg. He'll drive in. Find it to Thompson. Thompson just lets it creep over the front of the rim.
That's only his second bucket of the night.
And Thompson didn't play a whole lot in that first half. Played the first 9 minutes and then had to come out because of foul trouble.
Oh, wow. Look at this little Larry Bird action.
Robertson with a little flip, but it got blocked by Gregor. Bach now. Got it on offense. He'll try the pull-up. That's in and out. Not going to go for Brian Bach.
Yeah, that was great defense by Bear. Remember, he's a Utah State transfer. He's seen Mountain West Conference level ball.
Egan, give it over to Robertson. Robertson had a fantastic first half. Egan, back. They set a high pick for him.
Oh, nice.
They'll drop it down. Gregor doesn't get the block this time, and it's an easy deuce for Nick Jensen.
Robertson's either getting beat up on screens or he's got a farmer's tan. One or the other. I think he might be getting beat up on screens. His arms are red right below the biceps.
Good eye, Peter.
You see that? All right.
Gregor, he's got some space. He'll try the jumper. That's good.
Yeah, it's been a quiet night for Adam Gregor. That's bad defense by Robertson, but you kind of feel like Adam, I feel like these last few weeks is kind of just, he's not himself.
Digger's dropping into a 1-2-2 half-court trap. Good kick by Bach. It'll be Western basketball.
You remember Adam was, freshman of the year a couple years ago, all conference last year, honorable mention All-American. So now every night, right, he is the focus of the scouting report. So he's getting their best defender night in and night out.
But tonight it's Brian Bach.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Brian. I think they saw the numbers Brian had been putting up. The fact that Adam had fallen off a little bit lately, held under 10 in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
3 of the last 9 games. Egan, Robertson. He'll try to drive baseline. Shot clock's way down. It's at 1. And Westminster hits the triple.
Yeah, that was a nice look by Robertson to Skidmore. Skidmore's their leading three-point shooter. He's at 42%. He takes a lot of them.
Bach with the basketball. He's defended by Bear. Bear out of Utah State.
Oh.
They're trying to get it to Bach, trying to get some offense.
Well, they're making him pass.
Gregor, he'll drive in.
Oh, wow.
A heck of a lot of contact as Bach, he'll drive in, puts it up strong. Won't go for Thompson, but it'll stay Tech basketball.
Well, that just shows you the kind of guy Brian Bach is. I mean, everybody in the gym knows. Well, maybe not everybody. But all the guys in the court know he's 15 points away from 1,000. And he keeps making good passes to his teammate.
Yeah, and we saw that in the Western game. He finished with 6, but he finished with 6, 5, and 6. I mean, he just played a great game. Thompson, that's a nice little 15-footer from the baseline.
Well, it's nice to see him make that because he missed a little bunny on that pass from Brian a moment ago.
Yeah, just a little too short on the first one. Second one's much better as Robertson dribbles into a trap. They'll call timeout. So it's 38-54 with 16:50 left to go in the second half.
I mean, 16 is a big lead. I get it. But you know what? They're still in this game. They still have a chance. Westminster's not exactly playing their best basketball of the year.
Yeah, and you just, got to hope and pray Brian hits 1,000. It'd be one of those great, career enders.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It's 54-38 on the Best Western scoreboard as we take a look at the Westminster huddle. Westminster's had, a pretty solid season. A little bit of a process this year trying to get back into those Frontier Conference playoffs because they're not easy to get into. You got to be in the top 6, and the Frontier is one of the, most competitive conferences in America.
I love how so many connections. There's just so many connections in Frontier Conference basketball. And in Montana, you know, it's just a small town with really long roads. All right, listen to this. I'm going to weave this way back through Montana. Adam Hyatt played for Tommy Connor, the old coach for Westminster. Tommy Connor, now the assistant coach at the University of Utah. And the head coach is Larry Kraskowiak, who was a star at Montana. You disapprove?
No, not bad.
Okay.
Westminster has it. Ball's in the hands of Adam Egan. Now to Robertson. Shot clock down to Tunney. They'll try to get it in. It's going to stay with Westminster as Rydberg was the last one to grab it.
Well, that's a little too cute for Robertson. I mean, the behind the back a moment ago was nice, but, you know, passing in the paint from 5 feet, it's just hard to do.
Yeah, and you have the half that he had in the first half, and why aren't you looking to score? You could have a career high.
That's a nice move. That was a nice move by Jensen.
Jensen gets the, you know, little sky hook to go.
He's coming off of a career high. He had 16 points, 11 rebounds Thursday night.
Setting some screens for Brian Bach. They're just face guarding him. I think Brian's got to be the screen setter. Fakes the three, passes down to Engstrom. Engstrom goes up strong and finishes. That's Brian Bach. If he doesn't hit 1,000 points, I think you know, he's still going to leave, you know, a pretty impressive mark here at Montana Tech.
Oh, nice move.
Call the quick foul.
Well,
on Engstrom.
That was one of those, you watch Robertson, if we had it on the replay, he clearly had in his mind, he knew what he was going to do before he got the pass. And a lot of times that doesn't work. You want to react to what the defense is doing. But when you're making like 90% of your shots, you know the guy's going to go for your shot fake.
Robertson now defended by Gregor. Gregor might have pulled a groin.
Ouchers, yeah.
Engstrom comes down with it.
Yeah,
and the official's going to call a timeout. Adam's going to have to come out of the game. He looks like he might have pulled a groin. They're going to have to get a sub.
All right, now I'm going to show my age. Do you remember the Ted Danson episode on Cheers where he brings out the boom box and raps on the TV show because he was filling in for the sports anchor in Boston, and he raps about a groin injury? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I'm sure.
My age.
It was on Hallmark a couple nights ago. You know, at 3 or so in the morning. They do that with shows that have been off the air forever.
Okay.
Rydberg for three. That's no good. A little long. Engstrom stays busy on the boards, but Robertson will clear it. Egan defended by Peavy. He'll find a little lane, and he makes a quick bucket.
Well, Egan's played a nice game. The guy's only averaging 2.8 points a night. He's getting some minutes tonight because Moon's not there.
Bach dribbles in, gets a lot of contact, can't finish, and Westminster will push. It's an 18-point ball game now, 58-40 on your Best Western scoreboard. 15:03 left to play.
Well, Bach's got to get about a point a minute here.
Robertson gets another bucket.
He's got 27.
27. He's having a night.
But he's so efficient, 12 of 15.
Yeah, he had a heck of a first half. 25 in the first half. And he was 11 for 14 from the floor. Bach gets some screens. They'll pass it off to Peavy. They're going to call a foul, not on the shot. And it'll be Tech underneath. Bach has the basketball. Gives it to Peavy. Peavy, he'll try the three. That's a deep one. Not going to go. And Westminster comes down with the rebound. Driving in, scooping it up, doesn't go. Nobody boxed out Nick Jensen, as he might have back-to-back career nights.
He doesn't have that many points tonight, does he? He's only got 8. Good night. Coach Hyatt is just beside himself.
Nick Jensen picks up his third personal. A little too active with the hands.
I love the contrast in styles between the two head coaches. They're both standing up. They both have their ties off. But Adam is like, playing weak side defense over there on the Westminster sideline. And Coach O'Hara is just as cool as a cucumber.
Just a slow
amble, right? Up and back and down.
Engstrom high off the glass. That's a good-looking two-pointer out of the redshirt sophomore. Good defense by Rydberg. He'll dribble drive in, puts it up.
Wow.
Robertson blocks it off the backboard.
He could have blocked that with his chest.
Skidmore gets an easy deuce.
Well, this is a disappointing way to end the season for the Diggers because, again, if they don't make a comeback here, that's going to be 7 out of their last 8 that they lost. And, again, the one win was by, a point against Carroll?
A point against Carroll. Brian Bach hit 3 free throws with 1 second left to win the game. In a very memorable Tech win. They were down by a lot at halftime, came back. They missed Bach on an open run to the basket.
Oh, wow.
Peavy, a lot of contact there. Coach O'Hara just going to turn his head and kind of not bait the official.
Well, they were 12-6 at one point.
Robertson drives against Greger and gets it to go.
He likes that little runner off the glass.
Yeah, somebody's got to do something. As Tech calls a timeout, it's 66-42. A tough game for Montana Tech.
Yeah, and also I'm wondering, too, Robertson, all-conference guy like Greger, those guys have pride. They got egos, right? They're competitive. He wants to kind of make a statement, and he is tonight. They can't stop him. I think that's another area where Adam really needs to improve. He's gotten better on defense. But, if he's going to be the best player in the conference, which he can be next year, he's got to be a better defender.
Yeah, and, Montana Tech has a couple things that they need to really work on going into next year. And they're going to have some guys step up. Brandon Rydberg is going to be one of them.
Right now, Adam Greger is a guy that is a good rebounder. He's a good defender. And you got a towel hit you in the back of the head.
I finally had one thrown my way.
And you gave it away. Look at you. Magnanimous.
I'm just a nice guy. Pruneda-Garza has the basketball.
I'm not sure you didn't actually just turn that over. You went to look at it, you dropped it.
Adam Greger gets a good feed and makes the bucket. Have the chance for the three-point play. As the official signal the block.
What is in the rule book? What number is that, a block?
I don't know. I looked up the 9-3-1, disconcertion just because I was not happy about it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm a little disappointed.
Greger gets the three-point play as it's 45-66. I'll look it up and tell it to you next year when you're not expecting it. As the Diggers are now down by 21. Westminster going to a little bit of a small, stall ball. Three-pointer from the corner, not going to go. Pruneda-Garza with it. He's going to try to run something for Brian Bach. Good back cut, and he gets it. And Brian Bach needs 13 points to hit 1,000. Just, sending up a prayer. I really hope it happens. Brian's a heck of a guy. Heck of a competitor. He's done a lot for Tech basketball in his 4 years.
His grandfather went to school here in the 50s. I love that story. Yeah. Graduated here in 53.
And who's been the leader of Montana Tech? It's been Brian Bach. The last couple seasons, last year when he was a junior, this year as a senior, he's done some incredible things. Against the College of Idaho, he had a triple-double with over, 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 12 assists.
Didn't he score over 40 against Dickinson last year as well on the road?
Against Dickinson. The only game I couldn't watch online besides the drop 40, but the radio feed was pretty great. The announcer for that was just saying, somebody should probably guard him, or, maybe more than one person or the whole team. He got hot from three and then dribble drive, took it to the basket, and he's been a heck of a player for Montana Tech. And I wish him all the best when he looks to try to play overseas next year.
Well, he looks pretty tired going into that timeout. He's been working pretty hard because they've been denying him all over the court.
He's been working,
challenging every shot.
Working very hard trying to get open. It is not easy, especially when you got somebody like Quincy Bear or Jordan Pryor denying it. You know, and Bear's got some size on him. He's 6'5", 210. Jordan Pryor's a little shorter, but, you know, having a guy that big stay with you step by step is not easy. Digger's going to stay in some 2-2-1.
Or 2-1-2? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's a little...
I think it's a 2-1-2.
And yet that's the way you know it's a great, press. You don't quite know what it is. You don't know where people's responsibilities are. Ball's in the hands of Bear. They'll give it to Robertson. Good defense by Bach.
Well, Robertson took too long to make that pass.
Gregor just took it away from Brian as he tries to get the backdoor pass. And that's kind of what's been going on tonight. Tech just can't kind of find a rhythm. As Egan, he'll feed it into Robertson. Gets it blocked by Paul Engstrom. Good defense by the big fella out of Med Lake, Montana. Pruneda-Garza tried to feed Rydberg. Got it tipped away. Active hands by Westminster have been, kind of a tale of the tape.
Well, we've seen that a number of times this year. When you try and make a bounce pass in the paint, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and you're not that far away from, your teammate. It's just not an easy thing to do.
He's got 31 now. And he's made maybe one shot from outside 5 feet. The first half, he hit a jumper from the elbow.
Pruneda-Garza tries to feed it into Bach. Westminster calls a timeout.
Now, that was a better pass from Pruneda-Garza, but that was an amazing play by Quincy Bear. I don't know if he saw that pass. He just turned his head, put his hand out there, and just happened to get the ball.
Yeah, it'll be Westminster basketball. You can tell in the Tech huddle they're trying to feed Brian. They want him to hit that number. He needs 13. At this point, game's over.
It is.
Let Brian shoot it.
Yeah.
Every time. I don't care if he crosses half court or not. I don't care if he's a Town Pump logo. Maybe he can, maybe you get another year of school paid for by Town Pump if you just fire it every time you get it. Who did that in the NBA and probably no longer going to be in the NBA? Big former center of the Lakers was with 76ers, Andrew Bynum. The reason he got kicked off of the Cleveland Cavaliers team was he had a practice where he shot everything every time he got the ball. He shot every time. And it didn't matter if he grabbed a ball on defense and was 72 feet away from the basket. They didn't release any numbers on how well he shot that practice, but I'd like to see Brian chant little Bynum and just shoot it. Shoot the rock. Yeah,
Bynum, that's boy, it's hard to know what's going on inside between his ears.
Yeah, even above his ears, some of those haircuts he's had a little lately have not been the best. Westminster. It's Adam Egan with the basketball. They'll give it over to Quincy Bear. 10 minutes left to play in this ball game. Next dead ball after 10 minutes will be the media timeout. Pryor drives down. Might have got away with a travel. Robertson. It gets tipped away. Shot clock down to 1. It's no shot. It's going to be a shot clock violation, even at 10 minutes. And I believe it's got to be below 10 minutes for the media timeout. We're exactly at 10 minutes. So the next dead ball, I promise, I'm not lying to you folks, will be the media timeout. Man of my word, Peter. Pruneda-Garza working against Egan. They'll give it over to Bach. Bach gets a screen. They double team him. Picks it up, gives it over to Pruneda-Garza. He'll drive in, scoop it up.
Wow.
Little bit of a circus shot, but it goes in. That's a good-looking shot. You knew what he was trying to do. I just didn't think it was possible. 9:23 left to play in this ball game. The Diggers are down by 19 to Westminster. Peavy, good active hands. Marcus Payne picks up the rebound. They'll hand it off to Bach. He's got a little lane. Thought about pulling up for the jumper. It's Gregor. Back to Peavy. Puts up the runner. It gets tipped.
I think I've seen pickup games with more discipline and structure than this. I mean,
yeah, I think both teams know. Westminster knows their playoff seed.
Yeah.
They know the game's in their hands at the moment. You know, formality is the final 8 minutes of this ball game.
Coach Hyatt was upset at somebody. Oh.
Pruneda-Garza, he'll throw it ahead to Bach. And he'll lay it in. Bach needs 11 more points to hit 1,000.
I mean, you know, it's one thing if you're like 15 short, but if he's like at 990 something, oh my goodness.
That's my biggest fear, and that has been my biggest fear for a couple of days as they give it into Robertson. He misses, and they'll give it to Bach. 8 minutes left to play. Oh, please. Peter, you're a religious man. Because I'm finding I'm becoming more and more as Brian is getting closer to this. Gregor, a nifty little floater. And it's
that was nice body control by Gregor.
Yeah, 15-point ball game. Good job not picking up the charge, as there were defenders there. Just kind of floated around him, played it off the grass. Robertson with it. Gives it to Pryor. Back to Robertson. He's going to drive in. He wants a career high. And it's too easy.
I don't know what his is, but he's got 33.
Yeah, that's a big game out of that young man.
This is like the NBA from the late 70s. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, not too much defense being played at the moment. But they're playing it on Brian Bach, as they're not going to let him get 1,000. He'll try the deep two. Got it. Brian Bach, 9 away now from 1,000.
$991. Oh my goodness. You just keep going. You're doing fine. You just keep going.
We're waiting for the media timeout. There has not been a dead ball though. And they're going to call a foul on Travis Peavy.
Oh, that was almost in. That was a nice horse shot by
I'll give it a horse shot.
You ever try that?
No, but Pruneda-Garza, you know, he's only got 6 minutes and 44 seconds left till he can, you know, all he shoots is pretty much horse shots. But it's a 70-55 score as we go to the media timeout, a delayed media timeout, as we'll come back with 6:44 left to play. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Ryan and Peter Young sitting along with you as we finish the season for Montana Tech. It's 70-55 on your Best Western scoreboard. Diggers are down by 15 with 6:44 left to play here in the second half and probably the season. I don't see this one going to overtime. As Westminster has the basketball. Diggers playing a stretched out 2-3 zone, kind of changing things up now. As Evans have it, now Pryor. They'll kick it out. Skidmore, he'll try the 3 ball. That's not going to go. And McCarthy comes down with the board. Brian Bach with it now. He's working against Skidmore. A little bit of a quickness advantage as they'll give it off to Peavy.
They're face guarding Brian. Of course they know. I mean, come on. They're up They're up by 15 and they're face guarding him.
Yeah, that's one of those things where Pruneda-Garza driving to the rack, gets a 2 to go. You know, Westminster's only got another year left in the Frontier. There's not going to be no love lost, as they are still face guarding Brian Bach. You know, you let him get it, please. With 5:44 left to play, it's 70-57. Digger's only down by 13. It seems like a lot more as Robertson has it. They've yet to stop him consecutive times down the floor. Skidmore, he'll try that jumper. That's not going to go. Evans picks it up, and they're going to call a foul.
Skidmore's been really short tonight on his jumpers. Legs aren't there, and again, I guess you could blame it on that bus ride, but he looks a little tired tonight. That's a beard. It's not that impressive, but that's a beard.
Yeah.
See, when your hair is thinning like that, right, you cut everything short. So you keep it short, and you got to keep the beard short, right?
He just goes with like a one all over? Is that it?
Kind of. Well, he can't pull it off because it's different color. His beard's too red.
A one guard.
Yeah.
And Diggers will inbound it. It's Travis Peavy.
I can't do that. Good Lord didn't give me enough fertilizer around this area here. I got spots that are open.
Roman.
Oh, that beard you were trying to, by the way. Go.
It was a good-looking beard.
Yeah, I'm glad you shaved.
They'll give it to Bach at the 15-foot line. Doesn't get it. Gregor comes down with it. And then it's tipped out of bounds. It's last touched by Westminster, as Gregor kind of just had it ripped from his hands. Robertson, career high, 31 points.
Is that his career high now?
31 points.
I thought he had 33. He's got 33 tonight, so he's got a new career high.
Yeah, new career high. Brian Bach.
Oh, there you go.
The layup. There's one thing that Montana Tech fans want to happen right now, and it's Brian Bach scoring 1,000.
Oh, Pruneda-Garza.
What a play by Pruneda-Garza.
Hey, they're in this ball game. They're only down 10.
10-point ball game.
They were so busy trying to prevent Brian Bach from getting 1,000.
They kind of forgot to play. A little bit of prevent defense that didn't happen. Robertson. Pruneda-Garza will foul him. And, they count the bucket. It seemed like it was on the floor. A good call. I don't know if I would have counted the bucket, though, as it seemed like he had time to collect it, bring it back down, and then force it up.
And grab a cup of coffee and a hot dog at the concession stand as well.
You know, he thought about, where am I going for spring break? You know, what are airline tickets nowadays? And then he watched a Jerry Seinfeld YouTube clip on airline food. Robertson gets it to go.
Friendly bounce.
And now he's got 36.
All right, you got 4:22 to go. Brian Bach's got to get 7 points. They're denying him.
Quote my favorite movie, Angels in the Outfield. It can happen.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. What a play.
What a really good play. McCarthy can't hit the jumper, but 4 minutes left to go in this ball game. 74-61. Evans. Diggers might want to think about fouling now. You know, just more possessions on offense. And Westminster isn't a great free throw shooting team.
No, they're not.
Pryor, he'll drive in. They're going to call a foul. And Adam Hyatt holding his hands out. They called it.
That was pretty late. That was pretty late.
You know. And they're going to say he was going up for 2.
$9.93.
If you're just tuning in, and I really hope you're not just tuning in, Brian Bach needs 7 points. He's at 993 career points for Montana Tech here in his last game as an oar digger. Holding out hope, praying to whatever God you pray to, that it happens.
I didn't have this problem in my last college game.
You didn't?
No.
Did you hit the floor?
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
to, like, you know, get to 1,000 points, that wasn't even close.
Peavy. He'll try the three. That was tipped, but it went in. 76-64 on your Best Western scoreboard. 3:27 left to play as Egan gets it across. They'll give it to Pryor. Back out to Evans. Excuse me, Egan. Egan, he'll drive, give it off to Pryor. They did get the shot off in time, but it was a shot clock violation as it didn't hit the rim.
Well, I mean, believe it or not, this game is still not out of reach. I mean, it's getting there, but it's not. And Coach Hyatt knows it. He's calling timeout.
Yeah, he wants to calm his guys down, tell them, hey, you know, guys, you still got a game to play. You still got a game to finish. Wow, this is a ball game, you know, and the seniors, you know, they've been the ones who've been the driving force here in the second half. As the Diggers, you know, went to halftime 49-32.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Peavy's got 13 points. He's playing really well. And Westminster is still shooting 67% for the game. That's
Diggers
amazing.
have brought it up to 48%, but
yeah.
I'm looking at the numbers. Diggers have only hit 1 3. They only hit 1 3 when they lost to Westminster by about 40-some points earlier this season. 12.5% for Tech from three-point land. You know, some of these numbers switch around. You get a little hot from three. Things can change very quickly.
Yeah, the Diggers are getting out rebounded pretty bad. And turnovers, boy, Westminster's got a ton of turnovers. I didn't realize they had that many. This trapping defense, though, in the second half has made things a little difficult.
Yeah, it's been kind of what Tech needed. They're starting to come back a little bit, Montana Tech. A little more pride in the second half as they'd outscored Westminster 32-27.
Boy, I hope Charlie Ordiger's got a good chiropractor.
Especially with all the kids hanging off him.
I'm not worried about that.
Brian Bach with the basketball. He's defended by Jordan Pryor. You ever hope that there's a slick spot right behind your defender? That's what I'm hoping for. Ryan back cuts. He's
fouled! Wow!
What an assist from Roman Pruneda-Garza. We got Team Roman in front of us. Well, Team Roman is definitely cheering for.
Yeah, how much does he need now? Does he need 7? If he makes the free throw, he needs 6?
He needs 5. If he makes the free throw, he will need 4. 2:42 left to go in the ball game. Bach hits the free throw. He needs 4 points. And if you're Coach Adam Hyatt, please. Do you know?
But he doesn't know. He doesn't know he needs 4 points.
Oh, he knows. There's no reason you face guard a guy when you're up by 20.
Yeah, he knows he's close, what I'm saying. I don't think he knows he needs 4.
Diggers got to play some defense. They're playing right now for
it's a
Brian
9-point
Bach.
game.
14 on the shot clock as Westminster's going to a stall game. They're only up by 9. Robertson, he'll dribble in.
Oh!
And they call an offensive foul. The basket will not count. And if we can get a camera on Brandon Rydberg, he's holding his chest. That's how you know you took a good charge. Good charges hurt.
He was waiting for a while. I mean, that was a pretty good take by Robertson, but I think you call that.
2 minutes left to go in the ball game. Brian Bach needs 4 to hit 1,000. The drama is here, and if you're not tuned in, well, too bad.
You don't know about it.
They'll flare screen to Bach. He'll try the deep 2.
Ooh.
Not going to go. He's at 996 and counting.
Oh, my goodness.
As he was only held to 3 in the first half.
I have never been in a game like this. This is the storyline.
Buck 40 left to play, 18 on the shot clock. Skidmore, he's going to drive in. Dribbles it off his foot. And Peavy, he'll throw it ahead to Bach. Bach, he'll go in strong. Gets the bucket. One more point for Brian Bach.
Oh, that's great.
Brian
needs
Bach
one more basket.
needs one more basket to score 1,000, and this place will go nuts. What a pass from Travis Peavy. This is going to sound terrible, but Brian Bach told me this week that he had a dream where he only scored $9.99.
Oh, boy. Well, hey, it's a 7-point game.
It's a 7-point game. Montana Tech has really brought it here in the second
All right,
half.
so now you're Coach O'Haron.
I don't want to be him.
Yeah, but what do you do? If you win, you're still not going to the playoffs.
But you want to win.
Okay, but I mean,
every single
but
game you
do
come
you
out.
go to Brian Bach?
You go to Brian.
Or do you go to somebody else?
Brian's been your best scorer here in the second half. He's been your best scorer all year. Adam Greger puts up great numbers. But Brian Bach, you know, he does things. He does the intangibles. He finishes. He gets the and ones. He does things that, you know, other people try to do and they can't.
Well, he's been your most productive scorer in the second half because they've been going to him every time down the floor.
Brian Bach has been, you know, my favorite player here at Montana Tech. I think from the time I showed up, and
he's hard to root against. He's a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a team first, pass first guy.
I would, you know, like to say hello to his family. I'm sure they're tuning in. I know they couldn't make the trip. That's why he was escorted by Charlie Ordiger for the senior presentation. You know, if you're listening at home, realize how much we've cherished Brian Bach here.
Yeah, he has been fun to watch.
So with 1:13 left to play, Coach O'Haron is he's a little out of breath at the moment. I think he just compelled his players, said, hey guys, do it for 4.
Yeah. Maybe they'll go into overtime.
I hope so. Just gives us more minutes for Brian to hit 1,000. Pruneda-Garza is going to get called for the foul. It'll be Westminster ball on the side. This is what you need to do if you're Montana Tech. Stop the clock.
Well, yeah, even without Brian, if you're in the game, you gotta get a foul. You gotta stop the clock.
Yeah, you got to get. Here's the thing in the game: you got to get one victory. If it's not the, you know, if it's a win, you.
Oh, he's got it.
Bach comes down with it. He'll throw it ahead to Pruneda-Garza. Gives it to Bach.
Yeah! How about that?
Time out as the standard fell apart. Westminster fell into it. But Brian Bach.
1,000 points. There you go.
1,000 career points for Montana Tech.
And you know Coach Adam Hyatt is just livid right now. And it's a 5-point game, by the way.
A sub's going to come in. I'd like to see Coach O'Haron burn a timeout here. I mean, 55 seconds left. It's a 5-point game. 5-point game, 76-71 for Montana Tech, as Brian Bach, his huge second half, has brought the Ordigers within 5. Roman Pruneda-Garza is going to pick up a quick foul. That's a good thing, though, with 51.1.
So now you're in the 1-and-1. 76-71 on your Best Western scoreboard. 51.1 second left. You talked about it. Sean, get one victory. Oh, they got it. Now let's get 2.
They're going to say that's the 5th personal on Roman Pruneda-Garza. I don't think he knows it.
He played a great game tonight. He had 12 points, 5 assists.
And he... Getting a little emotional, but, you know, It was Roman. Senior to senior, handing it off for Brian to score 1,000.
Senior night. Brian Bach's got 18, Peavy's got 13, and Pruneda-Garza's got 12.
Skidmore hits the first.
Boy, that did not look comfortable.
There's not there's not many dry eyes in the house. You know, I think Roman's brother is showing some emotion down in front of it. His father as well. You know,
Well, and it's nice to see him end on a good note, too, because this was a tough senior year for him. Well, they got a chance. They got a chance.
But he will always remember giving Brian Bach the ball with 1,000 career points.
Oh, you were open.
Lane Simon doesn't shoot the jumper, loses the ball. It'll be Skidmore with the basketball. It's a 6-point ball game. As they're going to try to get the ball out of Skidmore's hands, he's just going to dribble through. And Bach will pick up the foul.
All right, why is he having out there?
30.8 seconds left to go in the game, though, and the Diggers are up by 6. You didn't want Skidmore to go to the free throw line, though, as he's an 81% free throw shooter. Got to be tops in the conference.
Yeah, but he just hit 1 out of 2. The first one looked a little sketchy, too.
Second one's pure, though.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. That was big because now it's a 3-possession game again. It's still 30.8 seconds. You got a chance. So if Brian ends on 1,000, it'd be like Roberto Clemente. Ended his career with 3,000 hits.
Peavy with it. He'll pick up his dribble. Skidmore steals it, and he'll lay it in. 22 seconds left. 22.9 as they throw it ahead to Bach. He'll try the 3. Not going to go. Gregor tips the rebound, collects it. Now give it off to Peavy. There's a 3. Doesn't go. Lane Simon with the tip. It's all academic at this point as it's an 80-73 ball game. What a game for Montana Tech. It's 1,000 on the number. And it's a 73-80 final as Peter will head down to do the post-game report with Coach O'Haron. The Diggers lose by 7, but on senior day, they do something fantastic. Brian Bach scores 1,000 career points for Montana Tech, urging the fans to stay in their seats as Brian Bach will be awarded after scoring 1,000 career points for the Diggers. What a way to bounce back. Montana Tech lost by a large amount against Westminster earlier this season down in Westminster. On January 4th, we'll throw it down to Peter Young really quick.
All right, Brian, first of all, congratulations. You worked really hard to get those 18 points.
Yeah, I'm just blessed, man. You know, I couldn't have done it without my teammates, my coaches throughout these 4 years. You know, God is good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you know, it's a blessing. You know, I had 3 points in the first half, was struggling. You know, but my team's out here. You know, it's unbelievable. We lost, but we gave it our all second half.
get your award. Congratulations. Go ahead. Sean.
They will award Brian Bach for scoring his 1,000th career point for Montana Tech. There's the game ball. Nobody deserved more than Brian. Only scored 2 in the first half, 16 in the second half. Hits 1,000 career points on the number. As we are so proud for Brian. What a way to finish your Ordigger career and all the seniors. You got Brian Bach, and we'll throw it down to Peter for
all right, Sean, interview. Thank you. Coach, I guess what kind of got lost in the shuffle of trying to get Brian those points was you guys almost won that ball game.
We showed up for 15 minutes of a 40-minute game, and we gave it a good run, and I'm happy how it was led by our seniors, actually. Roman came in and just gave us tremendous energy. Travis, our Bach himself playing the whole game almost. So our seniors were tremendous this game.
Yeah, I think Travis had 13, Roman had 12, Brian had 18 that led the team. They really went out on, they didn't get the win, but a positive note. Talk about Brian and what he has meant to this program, because you've been here for, I think, all 4 years for him, right? Yeah.
I've been here since he was a skinny little freshman that didn't want to lift a weight in the weight room till now. I mean, he's a fantastic player at this level, and, he can do so many things for you. He can make teammates better. He can rebound it when you need rebounds. He gets points on the drive, on the pull-up game, shooting threes. He's just a complete player.
Let's look ahead to next year. This was your first year as head coach. You've got some big-name guys coming back, especially Snow and Gregor.
Yeah, but this team is not going to be built around one or two guys. We need 10 guys that can play, that buy into our system, and that are ready to play when asked to play, and mentally and physically. Our IQ's got to get a lot better for next year, so we can add more to this pie. Right now, we kept it pretty simple, and we didn't learn it quick enough. But you can't get a degree from here in 4 months. 4 years, and it's just going to be the same with basketball IQ.
What is the biggest thing then, Coach? Last question. That the guys who are coming back need to improve upon to have a winning season next year?
Everything. There's not one thing they don't need to improve on. Ball handling, skill work, mental work, and understanding how to work within the offense, how to get teammates open, how to make teammates better. And that's what I want to build my program on, is that we make our teammates better on the floor. It's not about what I do. It's about what we do on the floor.
Well, Coach, congratulations. It's fun watching you guys this year. Good luck in the offseason, getting those recruits in, and hope to see you next year.
Thank you very much for doing our games. I appreciate it.
All right, Patrick O'Hare, and a tough loss tonight. Sean, let's go over the stats.
All right, we'll bring it back up here for the finale. The Diggers complete the season and kind of bounce back from a tough loss to Westminster down in Westminster. But they will finish the season at 13-15 overall, 5-11 in conference. They finished losing the final 3 games of the season, but the story of the game is Brian Bach and all the seniors for Montana Tech. It was Roman Pruneda-Garza dishing it off to Brian, in the final play of the game. The Diggers outscore Westminster by 10 points in the second half. But it's Brian Bach scoring 18 in his final game. He needed 18. He scores 1,000 in his career for the Diggers. You can't be more proud for anybody than Brian Bach, because he inspired this team. They didn't come out on the winning side, but they definitely got a victory in terms of morale, because Brian scores 18 on the number and hits 1,000 to end his career.
Yeah, and in typical Brian Bach fashion, he's given all the thanks to his teammates for helping him out, and they really did do a great job of getting him a number of shots. He took 17 shots tonight. I mean, he was almost 50%. Coach O'Haron, magnanimous in defeat as well. It was a good year for him, a learning experience for he and the players, and talked about all the things that they've got to improve on for next year. But again, I think this program is in good hands. I'm impressed with what Coach O'Haron has done, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they can get a winning record. Because the last few years, coming into January, this team has had a nice run, a good overall record, and it just seems like come February they kind of hit a brick wall. And they did this year as well. Yeah, last year they finished 15-15 overall. This season they'll finish 13-15 overall. Yep. But it's getting a winning record in conference that really, carries over. That's what you'd like to see. You'd like to beat teams, twice in a season. You'd like to sweep them. You'd like to finish on a high note and go into the playoffs. This team will not advance to the playoffs, but a great play by all the seniors running through the scoring. Robertson had 36, a new career high for him. We won't talk about him. But 18 points for Brian Bach.